All right, Paulie, thank you for giving us the time. Errol Spence, let's start with him. What do you expect from Errol Spence considering long layoff coming into this fight?
Yeah, long layoff coming into the fight. You start to wonder if there's going to be hesitation, because it's not just a long layoff. It's coming off a beating, it's a bad beating, car accident, retina surgery. A lot of things have happened in that layoff as well. So you do have a lot of curiosities, you have a lot of questions, not enough answers. I think the early part of the fight will tell us a lot about Errol because I expect Tszyu to go right after him.
Do you think if Errol's not there, you're going to see it within, Tim win 3 or 4 rounds? Or do you think even an Errol that's not really there, it's going to take a little bit more time?
If Errol's not there, I think Tim knocks him out early. I think, if Errol's not there mentally, if he's not reacting well to the punches, if he's not reacting well to the aggression, because I expect Tszyu to bring a lot of aggression to the table. I think that's one thing that Jeff Fenech will bring to Tszyu is a mentality change to not be so lackadaisical.
Errol asked for an extra 2 pounds. It's not a lot, but it is something to say, all right,
yeah.
Why we change? What do you think that means for Errol?
It's 3 years he hasn't fought. He was always a big welterweight. He only arrived in Australia a few days ago. Maybe if he'd arrived 3 weeks before the fight or something, he'd probably make the weight easier. But I think he cut it a little too close as far as his arrival, so might have needed the extra 2 pounds.
Who do you think the weight actually gives the advantage to?
I don't think it makes a difference. I think neither guy is a natural middleweight. Both guys are, Tim was a natural junior middleweight. Spence was a welterweight who used to boil down to welterweight, so was probably a junior middleweight as well. Both guys seem a similar size.
What did you think of Tim against Nerja and against Velasquez coming into this fight?
Solid skills, not enough aggression, especially in the Nerja fight where he looked like he had it in the bag. He probably could have pushed himself a little bit more to go for the close. And when he didn't do that, you start to wonder if there is a little bit of PTSD as far as some of the shots he's taken in the past. And maybe he lacks some of the aggression, and I think that's eventually spurred on the change to Jeff Fenech.
Who do you think has the stronger mentality in this fight? Errol, long layoff, but Tim, he's gone up and down.
Yeah, that's one of the things you can't really answer because Spence hasn't been around in a while, and again, Tszyu hasn't shown us a strong mentality in the last couple of fights. But with the addition of Jeff Fenech, you expect that would be something that would be addressed in camp and going into the fight.
So you do believe Fenech's going to have a big role to play in this fight?
I think Fenech's role is more mental. I don't think there's a lot of physical stuff you can add or tactical stuff you can add in just a few months. But I think Tim knows how to fight. I think Jeff knows that Tim knows how to fight. But I think that everybody knows the mentality of Tim has to be addressed, and his mind has to be in the right place.
We know Tim, he's been consistently fighting. Errol's back. Do you think this is Errol wanting to come back for a world title charge, or is this one and done? Let me get the paycheck, whatever it is, it is.
Errol never likes tune-ups. He always says that. So this is an example of that. I don't necessarily agree with it. I think coming off a 3-year layoff, even if you're coming off wins, you might need a tune-up. Let alone coming off such a bad loss like he had.
All right. Thanks very much.
Thank you.